Welcome back to the Milk and Cookies podcast, our podcast that definitely monetizes coronavirus. Check out our latest podcast episode where we reviewed our top 10 movies on Netflix. I'm your host, TJ, and today Gigarina presents our top 10 movies of all time. I'm joined here today by Joey and Yash. Hey guys.
Yo yo.
What's up?
So, how did your list come out, Yash? Tell us a little bit about how you made your list. Did you put a lot of thought into it?
Well, I knew the top 3 or 4 movies by offhand. Like those have been my top 3 for the longest time. It was just a matter of finding the rest of those movies, and these are movies I've decided by how much I've rewatched them, how much I like them, and yeah. But I did put some thought into it, but it wasn't like pure thought. It's like there are a lot of other factors that went into it. So yeah, I did put a lot of thought in it, and
Are
I
these
contradicted myself. So
I'm sorry for interrupting. Are these all movies that you have watched multiple times? You have a lot of memories with them.
multiple times, yes. Multiple times, yes. Memories, only maybe one of them, and that's my favorite movie of all time. That's number one. We'll get to that
Oh.
later, but
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Stick
How about
around.
you, Joey?
So I mean, honestly, I put like half an hour into it because I realized that I probably wouldn't be able to think up too many movies anyway. Not really a movie person, so every movie I do watch, I make sure it's a good movie first. Yeah, I liked all these movies, and a lot of them will probably stick around for like number 5 and 6. So it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. It was hard to tell. It was hard to say like one movie's lower than the other.
So your whole view is that it was hard because your pool is so small that they're all great movies in your eyes.
I mean, the pool could be large, but as far as what came to mind immediately in that first hour, that's what I really cared about.
Okay, let's begin our list. Yash, why don't you start us off with your number 10?
my number 10, it's a classic. It's a classic. It came out while we were kids. It's SpongeBob SquarePants the movie.
Oh, it's a good movie.
That's very interesting. Very good movie. Very good movie. So
It
why
was-
why
It was a good movie, but you're gonna ask me,
why is it your number 10?
why is it my number 10? Well, this was tied between a few other movies, which now have gone into the honorable mention categories.
Nice.
But SpongeBob SquarePants, it reached my number 10 because it was a movie. It was a journey. It was a hero's journey on trying to prove on how he can do it. He can achieve things even though people doubt him, and that's why I resonate with that movie. Because when people doubt me, I need to prove them wrong. So that's why I connect with that movie on a deeper level.
So SpongeBob is your soulmate. I understand.
Yeah, no, SpongeBob is my soulmate.
They did it really well, the hero's journey in that.
They did. SpongeBob and Patrick both came out on top.
They
Trying.
were true Goofy Goobers.
Well, let's move to you, Joey. What is your rank 10?
So for my number 10, I have Die Hard, the first one.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of a lot of like older movies, but as far as a classic goes, this one was really good. It had me rolling. I thought this set the scene for a lot of movies to reference. So this was a pretty good movie.
I've never actually watched any of the Die Hards. I know that one of them is taking place during Christmas, so some people consider it a Christmas movie.
Hell
I'm not
yeah!
100% sure that I agree with shooting at people on Christmas, but
Nah,
it happens on
it's
Christmas. It's a Christmas tradition.
it's the good of Christmas
Wait, what? Wait.
triumphing.
Can you rephrase that again?
If it happens on Christmas, it's a Christmas tradition.
Oh, I thought you said because you said I don't know how I feel about shooting up people on
Yeah, on
Christmas, but
Christmas.
if it's a Christmas, that's what I heard.
That's his
That's the
that's
thing.
Die Hard's Christmas tradition is to shoot up people on Christmas.
Maybe
Don't do
just to
that,
watch
Christmas
Die
kids.
Eve.
Hard.
Don't do that, kids. We're not advocating shooting people up on Christmas. Just
No, of course not. But in Die Hard, they do it. So
they
Die
do.
Hard has their own traditions, and
No,
it's
no,
wrong to judge them.
the Bruce Willis was really great in that movie. Anyway,
Anyway, we'll move on to my number 10, and that's Paul.
Never heard of it.
Paul, you've never heard of Paul?
No.
Paul is a
is it?
hilarious movie. It's about these two guys. I always forget the actors' names,
It's
but
the alien one, right? Where they
yes,
find the
they
alien.
find him and they're basically like doing a little road trip trying to save him. And it's just about their wacky journey and the different experiences they have with him and like the different things about his culture that he brings into it. I found this movie very hilarious. I love the cast in it. And I just this as much as I wish that this was higher on my list, it is a very very good movie. I have very fond memories watching it. So yeah, let's talk about your number 9.
Number 9 is a classic. It's one of those like classics that you can't like not see ever. It's that that I'm looking for the right word, that the epitome of cop movies.
Hmm.
Your comedic cop movie, and it's Rush Hour.
Oh,
Ooh.
I agree. I agree.
I feel like Rush Hour, it set the stage for all future cop comedy movies, where like you have the one serious guy and then you have the one funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, you have like two really funny people, and they made the movie really well.
So you think that this movie paved the way for movies like Ride Along and
Oh
like
yeah,
other
True
cop
that.
duo movies?
definitely, like 100%.
The major comedies that based characters off Chris Tucker. There's so many.
Oh, Chris Tucker is a national treasure, if you ask me.
For real.
I have a lot of movies that like he had a lot of diversity. To be honest, he's done like sci-fi movies, comedies. He's always on the more comedic side
Yeah.
because that's what he does. But I mean, he does have quite the range, I think. Joey, how about your number 9?
So for my number 9, this is this wasn't on Netflix actually. I don't know why I was thinking it was. I just watched it recently anyway. It's Saving Private Ryan. It's I love war movies, and I love war movies that are heroic war movies, and I love war movies that are heroic war movies that have a lot of sacrifice. So this is a good one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, my number 9 is Deadpool.
This is a good one.
Another comedic movie. I loved the original Deadpool because it was like I actually genuinely hate superhero movies. They all seem
Yeah.
the same to me. It's like same situation, just different environment. You know,
It's for kids.
the heroes are minding their own business. Some baddie comes. Now they all gotta rally together. Stop it. Right? Deadpool kind of breaks the walls with that and kind of just like follows someone's own like personal journey.
Yeah.
That's more unique in the sense that like there's a lot of charisma and a lot of just like personality to Deadpool as a hero
Anti-hero.
in general, or anti-hero.
Yeah. Both.
So it's just that like one, I feel like Ryan Reynolds was a perfect cast for it, and
He
he
was
did like
funny.
an amazing job with it. So I love the whole movie.
Hmm. Do you want to
Yeah.
include Deadpool too?
I liked Deadpool 2,
Mm.
but after being so like amazed by the original Deadpool,
true.
I was like, eh. Like it was kind of like the same thing, just not as good. in my opinion.
Fair, fair.
So I think I'd just keep the original. Yash, what is your number 8?
My number 8. It's another classic. It's a Tom Hanks movie. It's another Tom Hanks movie.
Hell yeah.
Um, um, and it's one of his more classic ones, and it's Forrest Gump.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Still
that
never
is
seen
a
that.
class. You've never seen it? Not even in like school? Cause like I'm pretty sure I watched it like 6 times in high school.
No, like that's
But
like one of
but
those movies
but
like
to be
every history teacher shows Forrest Gump.
I don't think
Not
I've seen
just
it.
because it's like it's the movie that actually like goes and it does it very well. Like goes through different periods of our history, right? At least the late after World War II, it has 50s. They have Elvis actually at one point. They have the Vietnam War, and they have all these different topics and stuff like that they go through, and different presidents and stuff like that. And they do it so well while telling this almost like story about this.
Oh wow, this looks pretty good. I don't know why I've never seen this.
I
I'm surprised you
I
haven't
I
seen this.
do have some gripe with
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump
Really?
because like not that it was a bad movie, it was just that like why did he have to go through all that? Like she no spoilers, but like she just the
No
things
spoilers.
that he does because of her and those who have watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
then he just kind of gets blown over and gets the short end of the stick at the end, you know. And
Okay.
it's
This will be fun.
it's just like why'd they have to do him like that? Why'd they have to do Tom Hanks like that, you know?
Yeah, I understand that, but there's like a lot of symbolism in that movie. If you look closely, like the way they made it, there's a lot of
That's Tom
like
Hanks movies. That's
Oh, I know.
older movies too.
I know. As I said in high school, I've watched it about 6 times, and every time we had to analyze it from different perspectives. I
yeah.
people go
Hmm.
nuts over Forrest Gump through
Yeah,
that kind of like
I know
avenue.
a lot of people have said it, have talked about it, have hyped over it, and I still never watched it. It's just everywhere.
Oof.
Moving on to your number 8, Joey.
Well, my number 8 is another war movie, and this one, the only reason it's higher than Saving Private Ryan is because it has more sacrifice and heroics. But it's Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh,
Uh,
I have seen Hacksaw Ridge.
yeah, it's a very very like fine line between sacrifice and heroics. So and this one really shows that they're pushing the edges with my feels and my heartstrings. So that's why it's there. It's a war movie that hopefully based off a real story, and the real lives are saved. So it was very touching.
That's good to hear. I do respect the Hacksaw Ridge in your list.
Hmm.
I don't typically watch a lot of war movies, but I have seen Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge, Forrest Gump. I think that's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
as close to like historic war movies that I've seen. My number 8 is Zombieland.
Ooh.
Uh,
Ooh.
Zombieland was the very fun zombie adventure that like it kept a good balance between comedy, action, and it felt like it progressed pretty naturally in like that situation where it's like the
Wait, I've
world
never
was
seen
gone.
this.
You've never seen Zombieland?
No.
Zombieland is a good movie to watch. There is a second one, I believe. And it's just like a
Is it a zombie movie?
it's a horror comedy. Cause like it's not like
Oh,
super emphasized on the horror, but I mean it is in a world where zombies exist.
I
It's
see.
they're basically taking over. And it just follows this small group. Imagine like The Walking Dead, except it was supposed to be funny
Hmm.
instead of
Okay.
serious, and that's kind of the like feel of it.
Quick side note: if zombies or the zombie apocalypse were to happen, would we still have people protesting outside claiming it's not real?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have people claiming it's not real, but I do feel um you ever play the game Dead Rising?
No.
In the second one,
Mm.
they sit there and they have protesters that are like protesting the treatment of zombies, and it's
Mm.
like a split view on whether they're still human or not, right? And whether they should be treated as like patients or as like a danger. Um,
Yeah.
so I feel like that would be the divide, not so much as if it was real or not.
I
Because
think
I feel like
there are gonna be people that
in
are just denying
today's
it, dog.
in today's society with like phones and whatnot, there'd be videos of people getting munched on all
TJ,
over the place.
TJ, it's bad during the coronavirus. Like,
I understand
there
that.
are
I understand.
videos. It's bad.
Yeah. So anyway, guys,
So Yash, what is your number 7?
my number 7, it's a movie that was already said
Ooh.
by my friend here Joey, and it's Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, good
Oh,
movie.
interesting. It
The
is. It
reason
is.
it made number 7 for me, it's not just the story and the heroics and all that stuff. It's like the first 15 minutes of the film
Hmm.
where like they showed the invasion of Normandy, specifically at Ohoma Beach, Ohoma Beach, right? Ohoma Beach.
Omaha.
Anyway, Omaha, yeah,
Hmm.
Omaha
Yeah.
Beach. And those 15 minutes, in my opinion, like really, in general, influenced movies later on, where they didn't really hide what war really was, but like they really showed the blood and guts of it. And that movie, I think, paved the way. At least those 15 minutes paved the
Hmm.
way, and it's those 15 minutes that are like, I think, the most real parts
I
in
do
that.
want to pick up on Saving Private Ryan a little more, I guess, because it did portray, the early war efforts, and that horrifying landing on was it Omaha or was that Normandy?
Omaha Beach, yeah.
Well, Normandy has like so Omaha was
It,
like section.
yeah, it was like one
Okay,
section.
okay, got you. But yeah, hot stuff.
Okay. I do remember a lot of my teachers were saying that like that scene, that whole like 15 minutes was pretty accurate because of like the chaos. There was a lot of miscommunication
Hmm.
on like the orders, so people got like mixed up. There was no, it was like a real
Shit show.
shit show because it like everyone got their orders, and then
It hit the fan.
somehow things got jumbled up, and then when things get jumbled up in like a high pressure situation like that, it just is really bad.
The way I remember it in the movie was they started taking fire, but they couldn't. Obviously, just getting towards the part of the beach where they were holding was walking through minefields of horrifying bodies blowing up. And then when they got there, it was nearly impossible because they were in a situation, they were, bullets like raining down on them. So they have to make those quick decisions. But yeah, that was probably a lot of deaths and a lot
I
of
think
lives lost.
the most powerful scene from that was when they get close to the bunker,
Hmm.
right, and they're with the medic, right? And normally if you had the medic cross, right, the
Yeah,
red cross, they you're supposed to like
not kill
avoid, yeah, you're supposed to avoid shooting them.
him. Yeah,
Um, but like the real powerful thing was the medic sitting there going along and like assessing each
yeah.
injured and basically telling uh his assistant or whatever you want to
Hmm.
call him, I don't know, but that he's telling them like which ones are worth saving and not.
Yeah, it'd be that way. when it's not much supplies. You're out there. If someone's gonna die, you might have to leave them.
Okay, on to my number 7. My number 7 is Oculus. And do you guys know Oculus?
I think
That's
I've
a
seen
mirror
this.
movie, right? The one with the mirror in the attic or something like that.
Yes.
That sounds familiar.
It's a horror movie about this like possessed mirror. And it was really really trippy, cause like the mirror didn't, like, normally in horror movies it's like, or in like hauntings, it's like they're moving the house, they're moving like shelves, they're throwing books,
Right.
whatnot, right? In this, it like messed the spirit or mess with your mind, so it like planted in like these whole scenarios, changed everything around you, totally like warped.
Hmm.
um
Inception, but
um
horror.
yeah, Inception,
It's
except you're dying.
Inception,
um
but weird morphing stuff and horror.
yeah, it was a very like
Hmm.
trippy horror movie. I really enjoyed the experience. It felt unique. It felt very. It it was pretty scary. And I normally, for horror movies, they don't faze me because I
Hmm.
watch so many.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a good
Okay,
horror movie. I like that.
yeah, it is. Yash, what
Mm-hmm.
is your number 6?
My number 6. It's a very, it's a classic, and it's the original Star Wars trilogy. I grouped them all together because like I couldn't individually like rate any one movie in that, so I put that as my number 6.
Wait. Wait. Why are we on number 6?
We just did number 7. Joey, are you
But wait,
sleeping?
guys, you didn't do my number 7.
My number 7 was Saving Private
Oh, I'm
Ryan.
so sorry,
Um,
Joey. Joey, please explain your number 7.
So for my number 7, I have The Dark Knight. We're going on to more fantasy stuff now, because I think I don't really have. Yeah, Dark Knight put a lot of like money and production value, and I really love the Joker. Like the Joker really got to me. No, that smile, that makeup, those are too good.
Heath Ledger, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's
He
like,
was real good.
Was that his last movie?
I believe so.
I also think they did the like series well enough with Batman Begins as the first one.
What was the middle one?
Don't ask me these things.
Dark Knight Rises. Wait, no.
Was it Batman Begins and then Dark Knight?
Dark Knight Rises, and then they had the um
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Gotham TV show. Okay. So we did TJ's.
So,
Yeah.
Yash, what is your number 6?
my number 6.
Mm-hmm.
My number 6 is Star Wars: The Original Trilogy.
Oh.
I couldn't. Speaking of fantasy and stuff like that, I guess this is a great way to move into like a science fiction fantasy type thing. Star Wars: The Original Trilogy is one of those like classic movies that you can't help but rewatch all the time. It kind of defined a generation when it was first released, and it continues to make huge headlines. They just recently finished the Skywalker saga that began in like the 70s with Star Wars: The New Hope, and they just finished it with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. But the original trilogy will, in my opinion, will always be the best, especially like some of the most iconic movie scenes with Luke destroying the Death Star in New Hope, or Darth Vader telling Luke that he was his father.
So
It just become
spoilers.
like a classic meme thing that is like Everyone knows it.
I think we're well past the spoiler date, Joey. You know, I mean, it's
I don't
been
even know.
like
It's been out since the 70s, Joey. If you haven't seen it, then that's on you at this point.
I've
but
seen 3 of the 9 movies.
I'll be honest, I'm not a Star Wars person.
I would love to do a marathon.
I'll do the ride with you. Like it's not gonna change my opinion. I like it. It's not like I like, oh, Star Wars is unwatchable. It's just that like I don't know, the whole like atmosphere of the movie the entire time. I'm just like, why? Like it's just like, come on, the stormtroopers have to land a shot. I think that's my biggest gripe.
That might
Right?
be a
Like
thing.
they just, whenever the enemy seems so useless besides the big baddie, right? It's hard to like feel the real presence. Like the
I
stormtroopers to me have always felt like goofy and
honestly, they did land a few shots. DJ, if you remember
they
in the
land
battle,
a few, but like ratio wise, that's like 1%.
Whereas almost all the targets are
I mean,
the
like,
main guys.
even in like the scenes, some of their bolts are like going like almost
90 degrees
90
away.
degrees off. But I'm like, what's going on? You're supposed to be the best warrior, right? You're the best soldier,
Is that what-
cloned over and over, right?
Is that why
So,
the
like,
game
no, the
is
stormtroopers, and I've watched enough Star Wars videos on YouTube.
spoilers?
Just they come in my feed,
Spoiler alert.
and
Rule
that's
Warriors,
what better to do on those days. Is that
Spoiler
later
alert.
on, after the Empire took over, stormtroopers were no longer cloned; they were recruited.
Yeah.
Still, they're awful.
I only know that because of the hype.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole thing is like everyone's fine until Vader comes along or the Sith Lord, right? So like,
It's
it just
always time to
feels like,
destroy the Death
why
Star.
do they even need anyone else? They're just cannon fodder.
True.
Well, that's enough of my rant on Star Wars. Joey, what is your number 6 or 6?
Yeah. So for my number 6, I have in partially the Harry Potter series. So in this one, I didn't include all of them. I just included the first 4. After that, the next 4, they're good, and honestly, I'd watch them, but they don't make my top 10.
There's 8 Harry Potter movies.
The seventh
Yeah.
movie was split in 2 parts. TJ.
Yeah, the 7th book became 2 movies. But yeah, so Harry Potter franchise, obviously well known.
I don't know how I feel about the movies because they did not include so much from the books that I felt like
That's true.
really,
But I feel like
that really made the books like really good.
I
And I
mean,
just like
the books were
like-
the books and the movies were the movies, you know?
I mean like some of the characters too, like Ginny Weasley. I know she didn't really play a big role in the first like first 3 things except the second one, but by the 5th, 6th, and 7th stuff, like she was this badass wizard.
Yeah.
A witch in the books, and then like in the movies, she was barely on screen.
She was just Harry's girlfriend, right?
Yeah. That's one of my gripes with.
I mean, personally, I feel like like that stuff I can obviously overlook because I like the books. Like I think the books were good as they were, and the movies, since
Yes,
I
they're
watched
good
them
movies,
before reading the books, I felt like the movies were good as they were. So like, there's never a problem for me. But other than like the other 4 movies of Harry Potter.
Like I overread the books like 30 times, like 30, 40 times.
I gotta be honest, I think I only watched like the first 2, maybe 3 Harry Potter movies. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. Like, I get it. It's cool, magic, but not. But like, I don't know. I feel like Harry Potter magic is so like,
Yeah, I might even take off Harry Potter 4. Honestly, just Harry Potter 1, 2, 3.
The first three are excellent. The first two.
Sorry for influencing you.
It's just how it is. It to remain like a kids movie, which was like its selling point for me. The 1, 2, and 3 had it. Obviously, the 4 you had like the shower or the bath scene,
And then like.
but and technically like death. But like, well, that's when it's like, hey, the kids are growing up, the books are growing up, so like the characters and whatnot. So I mean, as a movie, as a fantasy movie, this really hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially that first one.
Okay, on to my number 6. My number 6 is It. And
It's it.
The
It's
original or the new?
The new. I mean, the original is good, but I felt like the new one brought in a much more real interpretation of Pennywise. Like I mean, like I forget the actor's name, but he did Pennywise so well. He had the laugh down, everything. He embodied Pennywise into that movie.
Are we
Can
talking
you pause
about
for a minute?
the new one?
So there's two. There's It Chapter 2, and then there's It.
The new series. You're talking about
yes.
You're talking about Bill Skarsgård.
Sure.
That's the guy who played Pennywise.
Well,
Yeah,
he did a great job. I
he
don't
did a
know
great job.
I don't know actors' names. I'm not a big movie person,
Yeah,
so I don't pay attention to
Skarsgård.
actors and actresses.
I know him because
Um,
his name is Skarsgård,
Skarsgård. That was
And-
pretty
and he was on late night with Stephen Colbert.
man.
Yeah.
Well, Yash, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is a classic. It is my number 5 is a classic. It's one of those like classic movies that you can't just stop watching.
Let me
And
guess.
It's
a
a great
classic.
movie. It's Lord of the Rings.
Hey, that's a good one.
I've actually watched Lord of the Rings. I have not watched the second Hobbit, but I have watched all of the other ones, I believe.
So wait, one of them or a specific number of them?
Actually, all three.
Okay, good.
All three. Because they just told one big story.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I just thought, to me, that's the definition of a good fantasy movie.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do any recap or anything, or like anything like that. They just like jumped right into the movie.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
It's a great movie. It's like iconic in
Yeah.
every aspect, and like I could keep rewatching it. The extended edition too.
I'm glad the books like were as authentic as they were early on, so that they could try and do justice to the books. They had time.
See, I don't read, so like all this book talk, I got no clue.
Don't worry, there aren't too many more books for these movies.
Well, so after that, Joey, what is your number 5?
So my number 5 is a throwback to our previous video, our top 10 movies on Netflix. It's Kung Fu Panda.
You really do love Kung Fu Panda.
It's made it to my top 5, so yeah. Kung Fu Panda is if Yash's epitome of cop movies was Rush Hour, my epitome of hero movies and the hero's journey is Kung Fu Panda. It's in every way a glorified like hero's journey. And it has this great mix of like comedy, action, almost borderline sadness, and heroic dramatic moments.
I mean, how can you not love Jack Black?
And how can you not love Jack Black? Everything he says is godly. Is like meant to fit that character.
Honestly, like just talking about these movies right now, it's making me just like want to go and watch some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you ever listened to Jack Black's band?
Oh, I have. Yeah.
I have
You did?
not.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. And it's very Jack Black. Like and that's what I love about it. Like in all his movies, right? Or
Hmm.
not all of them, but a lot of them, he like sings, right?
Schoolhouse Rock.
And
True.
Schoolhouse Rock,
True.
classic, great movie. But yeah, I mean, like, and it's very like what you get in the movies is relatively similar to what he does professionally. And I think that's like a really cool way to like market yourself, right? Like
It
you
is.
sit there and get these roles that kind of dual
I mean, Jack Black's
or
history is ridiculous too. Like
oh yeah.
the shit that he's made and like how he's made him too. He's got a long line of content.
So my number 5 is Escape Room.
Oh, never
Uh,
seen it.
Escape Room is a relatively new movie. I want to say 2019 or maybe 2018.
Ooh. Okay.
Um,
Horror.
uh, Action.
Oh.
It's horror-ish. It's not there's not like a monster or anything, but it's more like Saw-ish. Just not as gory. So like
Hmm.
they sit there and they sign up for this or they get invited to this super intense escape room, right? And so it's just like a bunch of people. If
Hmm.
they had to like solve this weird puzzle box.
So
Um,
puzzles, escape room, gore. Interesting.
Not much gore.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, so it's like it follows this group and there's different rooms that are like really like tricked out and like just like it boggles the mind on like how they created these rooms because it's like I mean like it's not like your standard escape room where it's just like oh you find your clues and you get out. It's like you have to get out before time runs out
This is
because like that area is about to be gone.
this
Huh.
is a newer movie, right? Like within the last
Yeah,
like 2 years.
yeah, within the last 2 years.
Not because
Uh,
I've heard the movie, I just never got around to
Movie
seeing it.
night.
yeah, sure. I'll watch Escape Room again. It is on Netflix, I believe.
Okay.
Not 100%
We'll
sure,
find
but
out.
yeah. Josh,
What's up?
what is your number 4?
Ooh, number 4. It's an international film.
Ooh.
Um, it's a German film, in fact. You
Ooh.
might recognize it from all the memes that are on YouTube from years ago, where it was like the Hitler yells in the bunker scene.
Oh,
Um,
those overlaid dubs. I've
yeah,
seen
the
those.
overlay dubs, right? You know what I'm talking about, right,
I
guys?
do.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
It's the one where Hitler screams at like all his subordinate generals, but they memed it out, so it's like um overlaid stuff. Like for example, can we get tickets? But we can't get tickets to the midnight showing, and it's Hitler like flaming out his generals.
How can we not get tickets? This is
Oh,
all your
I
fault.
think I know the scene
It was
you're
like
You know
talking
what I'm
losing
about.
saying, right?
someone, but like.
So
I think one of my teachers, who was a very funny man, showed us a very funny version of that
Hmm.
scene.
Yeah.
Um, but
the
yeah, yeah.
so I'm that the full movie, the actual movie, not the meme part, but like the actual
Hmm.
full movie it's number 4, and it's called Downfall. It's
Hmm.
the entire movie is told about the Battle of Berlin, but it's told from the German perspective, from the Nazi high command, Hitler's perspective, and it shows him in
Ooh, that
his
sounds
last
really interesting.
his last days in the bunker, and I just love it because it just shows a whole new perspective
Is it
on the.
is it something you can like easily follow? Where like
Oh yeah,
does it
no,
keep you
definitely. It's
engaged? Does it keep you
easily follow.
engaged?
No, yeah, definitely. Like, I'm always like watching that from time to time, but it's something you could always follow if you have subtitles on and stuff like that, and it flows very well. It's one of those movies that I would highly recommend you watch if you love history and
So like
if you love history.
I'm
I mean,
obviously used to watching the American side, or even the British side during this war, but like
yeah.
from the German side, doesn't it? Or you're watching the enemy, right?
I don't
And you
want to.
know
I
what
don't want to.
happens.
I don't want to say anything
So,
controversial, but like it sort of adds a whole layer. Like when you
gotcha.
do American films about World War II and stuff, they show the Germans as like this big bad enemy, right?
I mean, Germany was like America, at least
And now,
on the inside.
now you're switching it around the perspective. You see these people who advised Hitler and stuff like that, and like the civilians, his
Mm.
secretaries, and things like that, and how they themselves um knew that the war was lost, but they would still fight for this madman, this evil guy, even though they knew it was lost.
Is
They
accurate
would still
for
fought, and
those people.
it kind of goes deeper into that perspective. The movie's well done. The actors they did a very good job.
Mm.
That's why it's my number 4.
Oh.
Joey, on to your number 4.
So this one is already been said. It's Lord of the Rings. Uh, I I love fantasy movies, and as far as like for me, one of the trend setters and the most classic, greatest series that they've made for fantasy is the whole Lord of the Rings series. Yeah, I love all the characters. I love the story. I love the detail and like the Middle Earth that is Middle Earth.
Didn't they film it in like New Zealand and stuff? So
Yeah,
you could walk to Mordor in New Zealand if you go and visit.
yeah, you can.
Wait,
Yeah,
I want to go to Mordor.
like New Zealand, you can go to the Shire in New Zealand. Uh, yeah, yeah. It's the Lord of the Rings.
Learn something new every day.
Really good movie and series. So this is for all three, because I like to combine that trilogy.
I understand. I do enjoy Lord of the Rings, but I'm not like super into it.
Hmm.
My number 4 is Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
And
I know that one.
I don't
I
know that
finally
one.
know that one.
Jeepers Creepers is a pretty solid horror movie.
Just the first one.
Just the first one. The second
Okay.
one had so many plot holes. And,
Okay, I didn't see
oh my
that.
goodness, it was a train wreck. It was a train wreck, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But the original was pretty good. I really enjoyed the story. It is about this brother and sister, and they end up stumbling across this town, right? And then they sit there and happen to be on a specific date, and that date is when this unkillable monster comes around,
Pretty much.
and basically he starts like harvesting organs. Um,
Jeepers Creepers.
yeah. So like, it's a very interesting movie. I thought it was a very interesting, unique monster. Um, it it didn't
That
feel
was a
like,
unique monster.
yeah. I mean, like I've never seen anything like Jeepers Creepers. Like I guess it wasn't like influential enough to like start a bandwagon, but like it was its own, like Jeepers Creepers is Jeepers Creepers. Like no one else uses it. Is that.
True.
So I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was really well done, and it definitely has a very nostalgic place in my heart for like older horror movies. I mean, it's not like super old. It's like what, the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think so. It was definitely in 2000 at least.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very good movie. Josh, what is your number 3?
My number 3, all I can say is roar. I'm joking.
Rawr.
um, it's Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Oh, Jurassic Park. Yeah, all of them, or
Well,
the
I
old
mean,
ones,
in
the
my
new
opinion,
ones.
all of them are good except
Hmm.
like the newest one that they released with Chris Pratt. I think that one kind of like
The newest of the newest one.
the newest.
Jurassic World or whatever?
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but my Jurassic Park is the original Jurassic Park, the one that started it all.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I see
because
that.
because it was this it was unique in its sense that it just provided this idea that dinosaurs can come back, but and even though if we try to control nature and if we try to control nature, nature will always find a way to outwit with us.
I
Which
think that's a very relevant point, guys, because like we're in Corona season, right? And people are afraid that like this government shutdown is gonna be so bad for us, and that like we're not gonna recover. But like when you put it in perspective, Jurassic Park reopened so many times, and they literally got people eaten by dinosaurs. So
Listen, it's controlled.
controlled.
Until the
Do
dinosaurs
you
obviously
control
left.
the
I-
park got destroyed like 3 times.
Yeah, and the dinosaurs
It's all
escaped sometimes.
control. But Corona's not looking that bad. We're not getting eaten by dinosaurs.
I like the older Jurassic Park movies because they were like hardcore kind of, you
And
know.
it was in CGI. It
Yeah.
was like whatever they used. It
Oh
was
yeah, it was all
Like,
mechanical.
The Chris Pratt ones were good for kids and introducing it, but like it took away from the dark horror part of not horror, but like the suspense when you're about to face off a dinosaur.
Every time I think of Jurassic Park, I just see the guy about to get eaten on the toilet.
that's
That's
Same.
the
an
only
iconic
scene
meme.
that sticks in my head.
It beat
How
out.
come that's not a meme? Like how come
I'm
that's
sure
not,
it is.
how
I'm sure
come that's
just
not
we
like the
haven't
widely
dove
spread
deep
meme?
enough in the meme culture. And I mean, like that Jurassic Park isn't like, I don't think super relevant enough to inspire meme culture right
I don't
now.
know. They just came out with some like weird ass memes, some like old ass movies, guys.
True.
They
True.
they have, but you gotta remember, we have a whole new generation of memers, and some of them only know the new Jurassic Park.
That's
Kids,
also
if you're
true.
listening to this, watch the old Jurassic Park. You need to understand the beauty of all these movies, not just the movies I say, but all these movies because these movies are timeless classics.
I understand if you like the new Jurassic Park, but definitely watch the older ones.
They're definitely worth it, but like I mean like they are a little dated.
Yeah, they
I
are.
mean,
They are.
like-
But like, so are all the 2000 movies.
Quality wise, though,
Not
it's
true,
good.
not true at all.
Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers didn't age well. I'll admit.
To be fair, Jurassic Park was like 95, right?
I think the original
Or
one.
something.
I think it is 90s somewhere. Oh,
Rippity.
yeah. Okay. Now, on to Joey's number 3.
Okay, so you heard Harry Potter. You heard Lord of the Rings. Now for my number 3, I have The Hobbit.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I personally loved this movie because it topped Lord of the Rings, and it gave that, like, the first half hour of the first movie gave that that reinvigorating feel of going on an adventure and being chosen for an adventure and setting off for an adventure for something that has like unknown consequences and long generations of tales to be told. So they did that real well. And as far as like a newer movie goes, because it's well after Lord of the Rings, they did production hella well. It was really good.
I do. I have not, like I said earlier, I haven't seen the second Hobbit,
Wait,
but
it's been out for so long, TJ.
yeah,
I
I
haven't
get it.
seen all the Star Wars though.
But fair enough, fair enough. I
I
shouldn't
haven't
say
seen
that.
all
I
the
should say
Star
that to
Wars
you, Joey. Really, Joey?
I know.
No, but
A
I have
marathon one
these
day.
papers.
One movie at a day. One movie a day. Marathon.
Well, yeah,
When you're back. You know.
once that's what this quarantine's all about. It's like movie marathons all day long if you don't have
It's
like anything to
one
do.
big long movie marathon.
That's what this quarantine's all about. The
This is just a
government
test from hell.
that's
The
no, that's
government
what the
made up
government decided.
Corona
They're like,
so
you know
that we
what?
could watch movies.
You know what? They released Corona because like they knew that we would be inside all day, and they knew that all these TV shows and movies were out there. They
And
just
being
wanted people to catch
Like
up on
Trump
underappreciated.
culture.
says, it's all about the ratings.
It's all about the ratings, guys.
uh,
Hmm.
yeah, like I said, I did like Hobbit. I did feel like it was a big like improvement. It felt like really. I mean, like the other Lord of the Rings, just because of when they were made, to me feel a bit dated. I mean, they're still very good, but like it's so weird seeing like new movies and then going back to old movies that like I like
But it's not even an old
progressively.
movie.
It's not old, no,
Yeah.
but it's not new. Like everyone
Nah.
is already like been, if they're going to see it, have seen it. So like I think we're at a point where it's like it could be considered old.
And
Okay,
that's
do
why
you
I'll
think
rewatch
if
it.
if movie theaters decided to do like a Hobbit slash Lord of the Rings marathon, like at like in this not in this climate, once this quarantine ends and everything, they decide to do that. But like with the way our culture is going into more of like a nerdy like fantasy science fiction type thing, do you think these
Hmm.
movies would be even bigger than they were released on the days they
I
were released?
No.
I don't think movie cinema should ever play movies that people can pirate online. They won't make a profit.
So they should just not play any movies.
Well, movies that aren't online yet. So movies to be good quality online are usually either ripped from DVDs, so when it's released on DVDs, or it's leaked from a movie cinema or a production studio, which can be okay, I guess. So I mean, like you won't find
Well, I
the
mean,
movies
they
playing
do
in.
too. I mean, like, if say they made another Lord of the Rings movie, like whenever there's a big trilogy like those, they always have like a marathon. At least individual theaters. I know, like the Regal by me, that
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
doing
if
every
in
Lord of
those
the Rings.
scenarios, it definitely can build the hype, and they'll definitely get views.
You know what? I'm glad though. You know how usually when Hollywood does sequels, it's usually it's worse than
Mm.
like the original. I'm glad for the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
The sequels didn't suck. They actually did justice.
Fact.
Like they were good movies. Like the entire like both trilogies are really really good. Well,
Okay.
anyway,
Mm.
TJ, what about your
My number
third
3
favorite movie?
is Split.
What Split?
Split
Oh,
is this.
that's a good movie.
Wait, is that the
It's a
one
really
with
good
like?
movie.
Isn't that the one where like
It's the
they
newer one.
no,
A,
never mind. I'm thinking
a
of
man
Spice.
has split personality disorder,
Mm.
Oh, I know which one
but
you're talking
one
about.
of his personalities has superpowers.
Oh, I was thinking of the movie
Is that the one
Splice.
you like, or is that the reason you like this?
Oh no, I mean like again, I'm really bad with actors, so I don't know his name, but he
Me
did
neither.
a phenomenal job at like, because basically he played like,
I know
uh,
the other
but
movies he was in.
different roles
Yeah.
as the same character. Like one, he's like a little, I forget if it's a boy or girl, but he's like a child.
One
Is
of
one
them
of
is
the
like
personalities.
a full grown
Um,
lady.
yeah, and then he literally has a physical transformation when he so like it was a very interesting concept where they brought a real disorder and basically gave this like supernatural twist. And I thought it was very, very well done. The acting in it was very good. Um, and I think it definitely, I believe it got very high ratings. Like it was like an all around really good movie. It was very unique. And they was like, what, Unbreakable.
Hmm.
Um,
Saw that too.
and what is it, Glass?
Saw that too.
It's the, I believe, prequel
Mm-hmm.
to those movies. Which also were
Good
very
movies.
good.
Yeah.
Um, Yash, what is your number 2?
Okay, number two, it's another war movie, but it's based off a book by a guy named Michael Shara. I read the book, and the book is basically the movie, and the movie's basically the book, except the book has a few more lines here and there.
Mm.
But the movie it's 4 hours long. I'm
Oh.
sure you guys can guess it. It's Gettysburg. It's about the Battle of Gettysburg. The
That was not
what
my guess.
what lead that wasn't your guess?
I don't know
I
many
said
4 hour long movies. I don't know any 4 hour long movies because I don't know
well
Gettysburg. But go on.
well
I know
think
of
I
it. I know of it though.
the attention
well
span to go through a 4 hour long movie.
the beauty of this movie is they showcase the Civil War, at
Hmm.
least the Battle of Gettysburg, but they don't take any one side. They don't show just the Confederate side. They don't show the Union side. They sort of humanize both the Confederates
Mm.
and and the Union, and they kind of show how like neither one of them wanted this conflict, but yet they're upon this great battlefield fighting for what they believe was right. And they kind of humanized the characters and showed that this war was more than like a war, it was something personal, it was deeper than that. And the way
True.
they made the movie in certain battles, especially some of the main characters and actors, were it was really really well done and well made. Fun fact about the movie, it was really cheap to make because a lot of the main troops they showed in the movie
Hmm.
were reenactors.
Mm.
They used reenactors to help recreate these the battle sequences and like show like these huge number of troops without having to pay additional actors,
So
which was
for this movie, is this like some timeline during the Civil War?
yes, it was the Battle of Gettysburg.
Just the entire Battle of Gettysburg and
Yeah,
like about it?
the entire battle of
Mm.
Gettysburg.
That's
And
pretty
they kind of
important.
showed the decisions, the actual battle sequences. It's one of those movies I would highly recommend to watch if you have the time
That's
to.
a critical point in our history,
It
in
is.
U.S. history. Yeah.
That's very interesting, Yash. I do remember seeing it because I believe in world history. We or not world history. Yeah, or no, yeah, world history. We did go through it. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, did you guys ever go on that like field trip to Gettysburg?
I did. I did. I want to go
I
again.
don't think so. Maybe, maybe not.
But
I've gone on very few field trips that I remember.
hmm. But I did go there after we watched the movie as like a class field trip, whatnot. I do remember. It is a good movie and it's pretty accurate. And I do agree with Josh that showing both sides, because like typically history is told in the eyes of the winner, so
Yeah.
like you don't typically get a full story. But it's weird to think that like the loser is part of the winner, so like both sides are just kind of winning and losing.
Yeah.
Um,
Just till the very end, and then
yeah. So yeah. Joey, what is your number 2?
okay. So again, another throwback to our previous video, our top 10 movies on Netflix. This is Animal World. Animal World is a it's a god tier movie. It's I believe it's Japanese, but it's to give a short understanding. Guy gets thrown into this dark underworld, and he's gotta use his fast wit and mind to get out. There's a lot of betrayal, a lot of like dark undertones, and a lot of like solving problems in one movie.
How old is this movie?
This one is
Rough estimates.
This one's 2018, so it's pretty new.
Wow, I've never heard of Animal World.
It because it's an Asian movie.
Okay.
Like a lot of people.
This like international?
I mean, like I know it's on Netflix, and that's how I saw it. But it's not Japanese. It's Chinese, I think.
Is it is it like native language? Is it in like an original language that's not English?
It's not English. But
that's
the
fine.
Subtitles obviously is English, and it's really good. The production, like the movie, is 100 times better than like regular Hollywood movies because it's a mix of that cinematic drama and exciting moments. It's really good.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay, I'll check it out soon.
Yeah.
So TJ, what is your number 2 movie of all time?
My number 2 movie of all time is Shaun of the Dead.
Ooh, that's a funny movie.
That is a funny movie. I love. They're the same guys in Paul. I love those two. They're one of the best duos I've ever seen in movies. They're always super great together.
I don't know about that. I
So
think
this is a
like
comedy?
Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan kind of or Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. Or Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill.
I mean, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. That's another.
They do well.
I mean, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Yes, I'm not gonna take that away from them. They are a good duo. Yeah. But I mean, like you don't see duos like these two. I mean, like they're just so good. Hot Fuzz, Paul. Like they're always in movies together, and they always do great together. They're this one's a zombie flick, right? But it's like to be honest, it's kind of how I see
Zombies.
the zombie apocalypse going down. Cause like listen, people don't know what's going on, right? People just start changing, right? You do some goofy things. You're gonna panic. You're gonna do some weird things. You're gonna hit people that you didn't mean to hit.
One of you's gonna be making love to your wife while they're changing into a zombie, and you wouldn't know. It's gonna happen. There'll be at least one case.
Things happen. So I think like Shaun of the Dead's a very interesting movie. I mean, it's not like a horror movie, but it definitely for people who like horror, it's a good movie to watch. I mean, like I've watched it more times than I can count, and yeah, so it's my number 2.
Nice,
Gosh,
nice.
Finally, reveal your number 1.
Number 1. Okay, guys, we've been building up to this. It's the greatest movie of all time. You can't really change my mind on this, no matter how hard you try to. Like I won't budge from this, and you might not like it, but like that's okay. But you can't budge from I won't budge from my opinion on why this movie. This movie is the greatest movie of all time, and it is Independence Day.
Will Smith.
Yeah, I knew it. I'm gonna be honest, Josh. From the movies I know that are on your list, I knew they were gonna be there.
Yeah.
I like Independence Day.
So yeah, Independence Day is a good movie. I'm not gonna knock Independence Day.
It had the final scenes that I needed in that kind of movie.
Doesn't the White House get like blown up?
Might
it's
probably.
a great movie to see stuff get aliens blown up. It's also another great movie, right? To see America saving the day. If you look at modern movies, action movies and stuff like that along those lines, especially like now. You always see America taking like China's help and stuff like that, or other countries, and the only
Mm.
reason they do this now is so that Hollywood movies can go on the Chinese film market to make money.
True, true.
That's why they changed it. But like, other than that point, Independence Day is my favorite movie because like when I was really sick one summer
Mm.
when I was a kid, and Independence Day was the only movie that was like on all the channels on repeat. It was in July, in June, July, and that was the only channel. So I kept watching that because I was always sleeping during the day and I would be awake at night, and that was the only movie that was on. So I would be watching that movie over and over and over. Eventually, I ended up memorizing all the lines to it. So whenever I watch it now, I kind of just do the lines along with the movie, making it a lot more enjoyable.
Oh
That
yeah,
kind
that's
of sounds like
makes sense.
Stockholm syndrome.
I just
But
don't want you doing those lines if we watch together.
no, but it's a great movie. I love the like cheesiness of it. I love the action of it. I love like everything about it. They did a good job. Will Smith did an excellent job in that movie.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was a pretty like well-rounded movie, and they had a lot of like scenes to keep me engaged.
Mm.
Okay, on to Joey.
Oh, yeah,
Joey,
that's me.
reveal your number one.
So the top of my list, the number one in my rankings is Pulp Fiction.
I knew it.
Pulp Fiction is it's just everything I need in a movie, from the love and romance to the comedy to the morbid comedy to the action.
I'll be honest with you. Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite directors.
Oh yeah, yeah. Quentin Tarantino. He literally has some like he has some insane imagination and talent when it comes to directing. Pulp Fiction, one of those classic comedies. One of his best movies for me. So, yeah, Pulp Fiction, amazing, gripping, and entertaining movie.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, TJ, now to you. What is your greatest movie of all time?
My number one is Cabin in the Woods, and this may be a little controversial. I remember when it came out, it was a love it or hate it type of movie. I thought it was a very interesting movie. It sat there and like blended in all the like horror norms into a movie, right? And they sat there and did it in such an interesting perspective, as if like normally like in a horror movie it's like the entire thing is caused by the monster or the villain, right? Where this is like a totally different perspective, where it's like there's not just one monster in it. Like imagine like Goosebumps, but not for kids, right? So I thought it was a very interesting interpretation of the horror genre. It was very unique. I mean, like there's never in my experience been a movie like this. And I mean, like I don't want to give away too much, but like it's awesome. There's like so many twists. There's so much that like if you're not like fully paying attention, you miss, and then like it's just like it's a movie that actually like makes you want to pay attention.
I do remember
So
this movie. It was a really good movie.
yeah, so Cabin in the Woods is my numero uno.
This was like a technically a horror movie, right? And it was like one of the I want to say like more acclaimed horror movies when it came out. It had like a lot of big people. It had like a good watch at the time.
Yeah, it definitely it was genre defining in my opinion. Like it sat there and like broke the mold that horror movies were stuck in for so long, and that's what I really appreciate about it.
All right.
Now that concludes our top 10. Are there any more honorable mentions either you would like to add to this?
I actually have a few.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. And this was as I was thinking of movies while we were talking about them, and I realized how much these movies should have been on my list, but they didn't make the top 10. I don't know why, but like they just because I guess I just
You
thought
only
of
have
them.
yourself to blame, Yash.
Yeah,
True.
just me blamed that I didn't put them in my top 10. But anyway, we have Pirates of the Caribbean. At least the first three movies. Um, with Johnny Depp.
I do
Johnny Depp is a
agree.
god.
Yeah,
We have
I
Harry
would
Potter
put that.
1 through 7.
Okay.
Mhm.
All the Harry Potter movies.
Mhm.
Home Alone 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3.
I was with you till the Spy Kids.
I don't know if I'd ever make that in my top 20.
How
I
could
don't
you
know,
ever
Spy
say
Kids-
something so daring?
I'm thinking of when I was a kid. Not now. When it
I
made
all I
watched
can think
thousands of
about-
movies, and and they're all good, yeah. But this probably towards the end of that list.
I
No, I have
mean-
two more. I have two more.
oh, okay.
I got Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, I still have to watch that.
It's a good movie. I
I
recommend it.
know.
And then I have Lincoln.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I've
I've
never
seen clips from that.
Like I said, like the only reason I included Spy Kids was I was thinking of my childhood for some reason. I'm like, this was a really great movie that I actually liked watching.
What about Lava Boy?
Oh
Wait,
no,
is it
no, that
Lava
was
Girl and
trash.
Shark
that,
Boy?
That was a trash movie. That was-
I pretty much consider them the same movie. Which one was the one with George Lopez in the robot face?
oh, that
Wait,
was
was that
3D. That was 3D.
Yeah,
Right, it's 3D.
and that's all I can think of when I think of either of those two movies. Even though it's just George Lopez and the giant robot face is great.
You guys have any honorable mentions?
Do you have any, TJ?
Me? Not really. I mean, like, I'm not really a movie person. I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm more into, like, shows. So, like, even, like, putting together this list was a little difficult because I'm not very, I haven't really, like, broadened my horizons in the movie field.
I mean, I have one, I guess. It's The Forbidden Kingdom. If you guys ever seen that.
I just thought of another one that I forgot to say.
Forbidden Kingdom's like it's a Jackie Chan movie. It's hilarious. It's got the hero. It's got that adventure. Really good movie.
Now that I think about it, there is one movie
Yeah.
that I feel needs mention,
What is it?
and that is Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh.
Kung
Wait.
Fu Hustle.
I thought you would say movies like Rubber or Kung Pao.
Rubber is a more refined taste, and it's hard to put it on this list because so many people are just tasteless when it comes to cinematography that they cannot truly appreciate how glorious Rubber is.
And that's
Okay.
why Kung Fu
And-
Hustle is that
And
fine
that's
line.
why Kung Fu Hustle is that fine line
Between
it's
that
the public
comedy and taste.
can see it, they can understand it. It's not so abstract that it rattles them and just forces them into this mentality and they're like, oh, I think I hate Rubber, because they obviously don't, but they'll say it.
Even
But
Kung
Kung
Pao.
Fu Hustle, Kung Pao, cinematic
Kung
masterpiece.
Pao is
Kung
is
Pao?
its own demon.
Kung Pao, again, another movie where people don't deserve to understand how truly great it is. Okay.
Kung Pao was a YouTube video.
Kung Pao was the best, possibly the best movie ever created. Okay, and the only reason it's not on this list is because like I just don't feel like it's one of those things where it's like so great you shouldn't have to talk about how great it is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, some comedies are pretty good.
And you know those two movies. I mean, like just bringing up their name. Enough said.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Enough
How about
said.
you, Joey? Any honorable mention?
Honestly, besides the Forbidden Kingdom, I think that was about it. I've
Yeah.
hit all my movie quota.
Well, I have one more, and I forgot to say.
What is it?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna read. I'm
Josh
just
made a top 20.
I made a top 20, guys. I secretly made a top 20 note, but Indiana Jones,
Oh, the series?
the series, yeah.
I do. I remember like, I remember what they were about, and I remember like the Crystal Skull, the movie.
Crystal Skull was like the one most fans didn't like, but most fans liked the first and third one because
I
it
thought
was
Crystal Skull was
Indiana-
okay.
It was Indiana Jones going up against Nazis,
Hmm.
and the second one really was kind of weird because it took place in India.
Hmm.
And the guy took was trying to take the person's heart out by his hand.
Hmm.
Kalima.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
That's like the only line. Like I'm not a Indiana Jones person, but like anytime I like playing a game where I get to rip someone's heart out, that's all I think about.
Halima.
Kalima.
Well,
Yeah.
All
do you
right.
guys have any more honorable mentions?
No.
No.
Hit us with the outro, Yash.
Hit us with the outro. I got you guys. So, folks, you heard what our top 10 greatest movies of all time are. What do you guys think? Did these movies make your top 10? Were we right? Were we wrong? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, click that click that notification bell and subscribe. And please check out our last video, the top 10 movies on Netflix. Remember, folks, to stay inside, social distance, and stay active. We don't want you contaminating more people with this COVID-19 thing going on.
Or your germs.
Or
Stay
your
away from
germs.
people. Just don't touch
Stay
people.
away from people,
People
guys.
are
It's
dirty.
okay to stay away from people. It's okay to run away from a person. Remember that. It's not rude in this day and age.
But
Why
if it's
are
a
you
cop,
running?
walk away slowly.
You probably shouldn't do that.
No, not run.
Don't listen to these two.
No, you
because
can
the
walk
cop-
away slowly so that they don't shoot you.
No, you should stand still and listen to them.
No,
and
don't
just
walk
follow
away
their
if they're
orders.
It's like a T-Rex with the cops.
If you
they
start
tell you
walking
to
away, they're
stop.
gonna
Still,
think.
they can't see you.
If they tell you to stop, please stop.
Anyway, see you next time on
Our Milk and
podcast.
Cookies
Milk and
podcast.
Cookies podcast.
Thanks for watching.
No words on that. Yo, Rosh, can you board Baron? I'll come with you.
What have you found?
Yeah.
My God. Oh, he's not on it.
Good job. Let's take it.
I'm gonna back for the minions because I'm low. You guys take it.
Someone clear that wood.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that healing, the tanky moves.
Oh my God.
I can't believe.
Are we just fucking...
How y'all just lose to one? Wow.
He jumps from one person to the next. My God.
Hey, but I got.
Whatever. We stopped the Baron.
Yeah, but they're just gonna go to it now because two of us are down.
I'm down for 20 seconds. Too.
You tell him, bro. You toxic fuck.
What do you mean? We just stunned him for like 4 seconds, though.
We're not doing nothing mid, so I'm gonna see what we can do about this guy.
They're on
Nothing
Barry.
on it. You're slow. Yeah. Okay.
Can we take Baron now?
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
That's a real question. Hold on.
Elder?
Yeah, but I have to back. I got too much world on.
Okay.
I'm going to Elder.
Yep,
We
same.
should. We should. I see Ezreal too. Idiots again.
Might as well take my red while I'm out.
I can fight
You
anyone
got
on
your
your
tower
team now.
Elder?
Oh god.
Okay, Joey.
That was my red. You're welcome. to help
Ezreal's
me.
top.
Oh, what is he doing? Shit. What happened is that mine? Because I got him.
I'm gonna split bot.
Oh, he did. Ain't no spell shield can protect you from Elder. You don't have to wait.
No, we don't. We should. I know we want to do stuff, but we can't.
Speak for yourself.
You push that. That's like.
I know, God, I got everything on me.
Speak for yourself, he said.
I took 2 towers. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Banshee's fail. What else should I build? I don't know, Leandres? Fucking, I guess I could build a Rabadons.
Run, Joey.
Oh shit. At least it wasn't an ace. Okay.
So what does Elder Dragon do now?
Double all your dragons and it has like an execute and
I could go Ardent Sensing. That'd be hilarious. I won't. Go. Look at a Banshee. Banshee? No, I won't get Banshee. Okay. Twin Shadows. Then a Banshee.
Okay, he has
oh my god. At least you guys got mid. Just auto it! Yeah!
I wish I could, DJ. I wish I could.
run.
No, 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 no. What?
No, who's up? Victor, then you, TJ.
Yeah, I don't think I get up in time. I don't think Rum defends this.
Victor's coming up. He can defend. You come up in time. No, you won't.
Oh. GG. So, like you said, Yash, you want to play an A-Rank.
Yeah, I need to get the first win.
And you think that's gonna be in an ARAM? Have you seen us play ARAM?
You should be.
I have.
No chance.